And here we are. And welcome everyone to be my guest with Steve Brio. And we met about a year and a half ago?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I was going to say 2 years. I'm like, not that long. No, a year and a half.
Yeah, there you go. We'll go with that.
It's
It makes us feel younger, too.
Right. Time does not go as fast as we think. And we met on set.
Mhm.
We were working for, I think it's okay to say.
Yeah, sure. It's already
As
published.
4 members, we of course can't see it ourselves, which is really hard. We were on set for Toastmasters.
Yes.
And we stayed in touch since then.
We did, yeah. It's that's just one of those wonderful things about meeting fellow actors, right, on set.
Yes.
Many times we're like-minded, and we stay in touch or follow each other's career. It's such a wonderful industry in the sense that the majority of the people that you meet are really like-minded, aren't they?
Yes.
You know, we really root each other on. You know, it's not always competition. You know, there's a healthy competition, if you will.
Right.
Yeah.
We encourage each other and like you said, follow what each other's doing, and that's
Yes.
exciting, and to encourage one another. That's
For sure.
important. We need to do that. So it doesn't happen with every actor.
Right, that is true. There
I
are
think
some
it's very
knuckleheads.
special.
Not very often, you know, thankfully.
Yeah, no,
Right.
but I do think it's special when you connect with someone, and you were helping me connect with the Bible study, and
Yeah.
So anyway, so we've kept in touch, and you've been following. Thank you.
Yeah.
The show.
Right, it's so
And,
fun.
Yeah, and you're like, I've got something helpful for actors,
Right.
so it's great, bring it on. So
Right.
I definitely want to talk to you about your business and what brought you to that,
Okay.
and what it is.
Yeah.
So if you would share with us what that is.
Yeah, so primarily, you know, the industry is changing quite a bit. I mean, from the way that, you know, even talent agents work, you know, and the self-submit, you know, primary reason.
Yes.
And within the casting. And I think that is really from, you know, thank God, you know, we can actually say we're working actors, you know? And, you know, that term working actor, of course, means so many different things. It doesn't mean that, you know, we're living in the mansion, you know, so to speak, but we certainly get to work in the craft and the God-given gifts that we have. And that's quite honoring, isn't it?
It is.
So what I started really realizing, and I think I really paid attention, I've always had kind of an knack for photography, but I really paid attention when I was in an audition and the session runner got it all set up. Okay, you're going to do this, we're going to slate you, and then you're going to go right into, you know, whatever they had me doing. And I remember thinking, well, where's the camera? And they brought out an iPad. Right? And they said, okay, and slate. And I was like, okay, yeah, we're doing this on iPad. Well, you know, I started seeing more and more of that. And now we also are seeing more and more video submissions.
Yes.
So it really started making me pay attention to what it takes to get a good quality video submission, right? And so that's really it. You know, I think most people, especially if the term working actor, which means, you know, you're paying for something. You know, there's no such thing, right, as a free ride in a professional acting career. It's just not going to happen. I know sometimes there's a little bit of a nuance or a worry, well, if they're going to charge you anything, and all I'm saying is to invest in your career, you know, that's what it takes.
Yes.
And so that's really one of the parts of the industry that is changing a lot is the self-submissions.
Right.
And we're seeing it more and more, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so it doesn't, you know, what I really realized is that I started paying attention to not only being on set and of course the lighting that they use on set and the way they set up mics and all those things like that, but I really started paying attention to the auditions and what's happening in the audition room. The color of the wall, the way that they have their lighting set up, and the capturing devices, and seeing more and more. I always say iPad just because I'm kind of a Mac guy, and so I like all the iPad, but really any tablet, you know, in today's world is going to use an HD camera. The phones, most of the phones have an HD camera in it. So really, what I came to really pay attention to is really it's coming down to about 3 things. It's coming down to a good capture device. Okay, our phones, right? That's pretty much really good right there. Or if you have a tablet device to use, that's wonderful. Okay. Lighting, so critical. Lighting and audio.
Yes.
Stay away from that. Just the camera mic.
Right.
You know, that's really good. And so, you know, then I started really seeing a lot of, I'd go to an audition and you'd go to an audition and you'd pass a studio or something that says self-taping services available, right? And they're charging $25, $35 just to get you on tape, and I'm thinking...
That's just trying to get a gig. They don't have the gig and they're paying to do that.
Right. And so I have put together, I have to say, beside your recording device, whether it be your phone or your tablet and stuff, under $100, you can set up a home studio. Yeah.
So you help them do that?
Well, I just tell people what it is, and I brought a couple things, you know, to show you really, you know, what it takes to do that. Right. So let's start with, of course, you know, the capturing device. So, you know, this is just my iPhone. This is a 6S HD, right? So they already cover HD. Well, guess what? All the iPhones, or pretty much all the smart media phones, they have that jack. We always call it a headphone jack.
Oh, right.
But it's also for a microphone, external microphone. Okay. Or you can use, I mean, you mentioned the iPad and stuff, but you know, whatever your tablet.
You do see these a lot when they're recording.
Right. Yeah. So you need something to hold these. Okay. Tripod adapter. Right. Those are pretty reasonable. In fact, I just ordered a tripod and a universal adapter for the smartphone, $17.95 from Amazon. Oh, nice. Can I say Amazon on here?
I think you can. I think they'll like that.
Okay. Yeah, Amazon. Anyway,
and that was what did you purchase?
$17.95. We got the tripod and the adapter to hold the phone. So you can hold it, you know, vertical. You can
so like my
little
tiny little gadget there.
That would
and then
work.
I see that you have a cool one.
That would work perfectly.
Yeah. And actually, it did work. We did a little. Can't really say what it was, but we did a little filming, and they needed a tripod. I'm like, don't touch my tripod. So they had a little one like this. It wasn't working for some reason, and they used I'm pointing to my little tiny tripod. It's like a $4 thing that I didn't think would ever be useful. Yeah. I'm gonna use that for this little commercial thing.
Yeah. So there's your first thing. That's the first thing you need. Okay. Then next thing, lighting. Lighting.
How's this? Do you like this lighting?
I like your lighting. It's good, and of course you can really tell when you're looking at the monitors. Yes. You know, when you look at the monitors, you really get a sense of it. Right. Don't skimp on lighting. Don't skip on lighting. Okay. It's so important. So look at this guy right here.
Oh.
Clip on.
Oh.
Clip on. Bendable.
That's easy.
You can put it on, you know, a shelf. You can put it on a chair. You can put it. I use it sometimes on the tripod. Oh. Tripod's facing here.
Yeah.
I put it sideways. You can use two of them. Okay.
I like your props.
Yes.
I want to take a picture of you.
Yeah.
While we're online here.
Now these are the twisty bulbs, but they're actually domed, so they look like a standard light bulb. Okay. I like these ones a little bit better than just the twisty bulbs. Okay. Both work. Okay, so that's not a problem at all.
Lighting-wise.
Yeah, lighting-wise. You know, so this one, I don't have my glasses on, but I can tell you that it's the equivalent of about an 80 to 100 watt bulb. Okay. What's nice about these also is they don't get too hot. Okay.
Oh, good. Some of them do.
Speaking of hot, we have to be careful when we are using these, directing them toward us. We can get hot spots.
Yes.
The nice thing about these not getting hot is it allows you to diffuse them. And look what I'm using right here. What is that, right?
That's just tissue
you have
paper.
A gift. Yeah, you have a gift lately, right there.
Yeah.
Comes right the
I need
gift.
more gifts lately, but
I need more gifts. You can single it.
And then just
you can double it over if you want.
You can have colored ones.
You can have colored ones. If you a little blue, you know, is always favorable.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can single it or double it over, and then I just use a rubber band and put it around there. Yeah. So if we go like that, she goes that way. I go, hold it there.
It's a two-person job.
Yeah. Anyway.
We get it.
You get the idea. Anyway,
Yeah, just
we'll
like
do it on
that.
that. It goes on here,
Yeah.
and then you can just use it that way. Always use two. Try to always cross light. Never go direct on. So if we have one, if we're going to light Erika, I'm going to put one over here, and then on the other side, we'll put one on the other side. Maybe about 4 to 5 feet, maybe even 8 feet back. They work really, really good. Hey, these here, you can get under $10. You can get a 2-pack of these lights for under about $7.
Great.
So $27 you got this.
Yeah.
Dude, now your lighting's done.
Yeah.
Okay. Background.
I should have done that.
Yeah.
I went way professional.
So the background is probably the next thing, and it's really important we always stay with a neutral background.
Okay.
Right?
Like
so,
that color, like a beigeish.
Like a beigeish is good, but what I think is really important, use fabric. You've got to have fabric because the lighting will bounce and reflect, and it just kind of looks bad. So one hot tip, go to the thrift store and buy someone's donated curtains.
Good.
Right?
I like these cheaper ideas.
Yeah, just go to the thrift store. Find a beige curtain that someone's donated. If they have the hooks or the loops, then you can get an adjustable closet
like a
rod.
bathroom one almost.
Even a bath one. Yeah, bathroom rod. That's really good. Just make sure it covers behind you. Right. That works out really good. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Next thing is audio.
And sound. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm all worried about our sound. Let me bring this in closer.
Yeah. Now here's what look at this.
Oh,
another Amazon find.
Okay.
Okay. This is it's called Amperage is the one that I'm using. There's several of these. This is referred to as a little shotgun microphone, a miniature shotgun microphone. Okay. Fun. So you're going to get this. It comes with this very small pigtails, about a 3-foot cord that you get, but you also have another accessory point here at the back. I use a 10-foot cord as well, just a 1/4 inch male to male cable. Okay, and then you can take this. I got this cheap little tripod. You have that little one over there. There's plenty of these little ones. This one kind of adjusts. What's kind of neat, if you put your hand up really quick, act like this is your tripod, you can hook it around it.
Oh.
See? And you can then adjust the head however you want.
Oh, cool.
So it kind of works out nice. So I tend to put it I use our downstairs bedroom for my recording studio.
Great.
And I put this on the bed in front of me, have the mic, facing toward me, and then plug in this 10-foot or so, 6 foot, whatever it is, and you plug it right into the back of the mic, and it's going to go right to your headphone jack in your smartphone or your tablet.
So let me see. So this goes in to this. So let me actually do that.
Okay.
And then, so I've got my phone here. Is that going to go the other one?
It's going to go
right
into
there. My phone.
Goes right into your phone.
Okay, I like easy.
Yeah. And
then you just slide that in, and then I would just put that in front, and it's for one person. Like if we're doing an interview, it's probably not loud enough, or
look at that.
Or is it good?
See that? That's just the way this one works.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll try not to mess with your.
So when it's connected to my phone.
Now it becomes a microphone.
Okay, because that's to be plugged into something.
Right.
So the mixer could go into a mixer.
It can go. It can go to a mixer and then the phone. But most people, I think, just to keep it cheap and easy, you plug this. You're taking this, putting it semi close to you, right? And then the other end goes right into your recording device. So whether it be, I'm using, or obviously a tablet system. I also use my phone because sometimes I use my tablet as a teleprompter. So that works out good. But there it is. There's the biggest 4 things I guess we mentioned. Okay, you need a recording device and a tripod with an attachment. You need a medium type of a background, fabric preferred. You need 2 lights, okay? Use tissue paper. Never leave that unattended though. Even though those twisty bulbs, those LED lights, they don't get super hot. The very fact is, if you're using tissue paper, you don't want to leave that alone or unattended. And then, of course, don't skimp on the mic. Okay, it's really easy, and you can do your own self-test really easy. do whatever, just do a slate. You know, hi, my name is Steve Brio. I'm auditioning for Erika's show. You know.
Ooh, I like that. Auditions for the show.
Audition for the show. That's even better. Named here first. Do it without the microphone first. And then plug in the microphone, do the same slate again, and then play it back. And you will hear a difference. You heard it here first.
Cool.
So this whole system, this whole setup here, is about $50.
Okay.
This is kind of more on the expensive side, if you will. You could probably find these miniature shotgun mics maybe a little bit cheaper. This one, again, the name of this one that I'm using is Amperage. I love it. I haven't had any problems with it. I get no endorsements from Amperage or Amazon, but we love you both. So, and this is really good. So you can put this tripod kind of anywhere.
And you're recording with your phone, and you have it connected to your phone.
Right.
So the two things working at the same time. That's
right.
Works. Okay,
right.
Cool.
And to play it back now, and I'm glad you brought that up, because if you're going to use your phone or your tablet to record, once you plug this in to that headphone jack, it becomes a microphone. But when you go to play it back, if you don't have this unplugged, you won't hear it. So you have to unplug it so it plays through the
Right. I've done that before. I'm like, how come I can't hear as I play it back? And it's because I have the microphone plugged in. Cool. That's great. It's funny. I thought you were coming to say, this is my service and people can come to me for me to do this. But you're here to say, this is how you can do it on your own.
You can do it on your own for less than $100.
Yeah.
And you know what? That's, well, as we mentioned earlier, that's about 3 self-taping auditions.
Yeah.
If you went to one of the audition studios and had them do it for you.
Yeah.
Okay?
Had I known about this option, I guess I just jumped right into the next level with it.
Yeah. Now, when you start doing these auditions from home, and in the beginning, I got to tell you, I was not super thrilled that we were being asked to do all the work, because it's like, isn't that the casting director's job to do that? But of course, I live in Orange County, so coming up to LA, you know, not coming up and getting an audition, oh, that kind of sounds nice too.
Absolutely.
A couple tips though that I've learned, and now I gotta say, because it's been becoming more and more popular. Hey, it's probably been popular for about 2 years now, 2.5 years. We're being asked to do more of these on our own. But what I am liking now is the fact that you can record all these different takes and then edit the best versions of it. There's a lot of free editing software out there. A lot of the phones or tablets come with an editing suite that is built in. So you do have to take a little time, get used to it. You know, again, I'm kind of a Mac guy, so Mac makes it really easy. There's title slides and fades and all those things that you can use there. But, you know, I'm not saying Mac is the only way. There's many other ways. So a couple things to really pay attention to, and the things that you don't get when you go to if you go back to, what am I missing? What, you know, like, I understand the value and the idea of being able to do all these self-takes at home. That would be really great. But what am I missing by not going in the studio? Well, either the casting director being present or the session runner, the notes.
Oh, sure.
You're missing the notes.
Yeah.
And so it is oftentimes, any actor out there knows that you go in, right? You go in, you get your sides or whatever the improv is going to be, right? And you're thinking, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to play it like this. And you'll get into the room, and maybe there's 10 people ahead of you, 8 people ahead of you. So, you know, and sometimes you can hear people in the room and they're doing something really big or loud or, you know, whatever, and you're thinking, does that sound right to me? Oh, that sounds right, right? You get that way. But then you get into the session runner, or you get into the casting director, you get into the audition room, and the first thing you say is, don't play it like this.
Because they've seen so many of those.
Because they've seen so many, even though, and you know, and I think the coup de grace is when the session runner or the casting director says, I know that it seems like you would do this, right? You would do it like this
way.
But we're not seeing that work out well, so don't do it that way. So
you're right, so we miss out on that part of it.
So that is, and that's just kind of, I think it's primarily just a learned model, if you will, you know. So I tend to, because I do a lot of commercial-based work, I tend to do a couple takes. One a little bit bigger and one a little bit smaller.
Okay.
And I kind of give them a little bit more of that range.
Yeah.
So that works out well. But there is a lot of advantages of being able to do those self-takes.
Yeah, like you said, not being in traffic and spending all that time and waiting in line. You're in the comfort of your own home if you get these things.
Yeah.
Or if you go somewhere for a small fee and record it there. Or, I used to just use my laptop with with the camera that's in my laptop, and I would just make sure the lighting was good where the sun was coming in. I did that for a long time.
Sure.
I just had to make sure it was, before 5 p.m. and after 8. But, that was, the times have changed.
Right.
But it's not going away, and self-submissions are a big part of it, a lot of benefit. But I hadn't thought of a couple of and I had thought of the aspect of they don't see you in person.
Right.
That it's kind of on video, and they see a certain amount, but to really be face to face with someone is very special and unique and can show a lot.
Right.
But there's a lot of pros to it.
Now there's a couple other tips that I came up with as well. One of them is, you'll get, traditionally they'll send you the side tape, put yourself on tape, have someone. They always like to use that, right? Have someone read this. Have someone read it. Yeah. The dog, okay.
You read this part.
So what do you do with that? Well, here's the thing. All actors have other actor friends. And there's kind of an idea that you could self-record the opposing lines, and that usually doesn't work well. It sounds like it would, but it's just not as good. So your time, right? It's all about your time. What works really, really well, if you have both of these devices, if you had your cell phone, or you can even use your house phone on speaker. Actors help actors. Get one of your actor buddies, see if they're available for 5 minutes to read this audition with you. Get them on send over the script, right? Send over the script to them, tell them what lines you need them to read, and then put them on speakerphone and have them read opposite. So they can actually do it from remote. They can hear you.
So while you're recording your part, you have them on speakerphone.
Yeah.
But you're using your phone to record and have the microphone.
So if you choose to use your phone to do all of your recording, which works well and is great, you're going to have to use another phone to have them call in. If you use a tablet,
that's a good idea. I'm going to call you, Steve.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
Because I'm always like, oh my god, I don't have a roommate, and I've done the record, and like that's just so silly. So I now just kind of skip over it.
Yeah.
If it's a sentence where it's like response to it, I kind of just alter it a little bit to where no response was necessary, but you're skimping out a little bit.
Yeah.
And I think that they would understand that a lot of us don't have someone at our beck and call to help us with all these auditions. But.
Well, and especially if they're asking us to do a self-submission,
Right.
But I have had some success in this, and it does kind of change it up. The biggest trick is when your friend calls you, you need to make time to be available.
Well, yeah.
Right? It's all about the payback, right?
Right, yeah. Well, this is awesome. Very, very cool. So what led you to this was just being an actor and seeing what you need to do on your own and having the wherewithal to put it together.
Yeah, pay attention really, when you're acting, of course, you can mimic a lot of what you see in the audition room, and it's not always, it doesn't always have to take a lot of money to do it.
Right.
That movie I just went to, we were talking about Comic-Con before we came on the air, and I went to a great filmmaker panel at Comic-Con this year. And before that, I was they were all independent filmmakers, but I was really intrigued about these lenses, that you can now get for the phones and everything.
Oh.
And they were talking about, it made me come across the movie Tangerine that was in Sundance. It's all filmed, the entire movie was filmed on the iPhone 7.
Really?
iPhone 7. So I'm thinking, that gave me all the confidence in the world that, okay, if they're getting films in Sundance, these amazing quality films, shooting with an iPhone, or even like a tablet device, then it's really come a long way. And seeing
Yeah.
them more and more in the audition room, I just really start paying attention, to what they do.
Yeah.
Great tips you can get by just, taking your experience in the audition room and
Right.
taking it home. Try not to be single dimensional,
Yeah.
right? It's what do they ask for you? They always kind of do 2 auditions, right? Even if you feel like I nailed it that first one, it was so good.
Mhm.
They always say, let's do one more.
Mhm.
Hey, that was good, but let's do one more.
Mhm.
Maybe changing it up just a little bit,
Yeah.
so that works out good.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Nice. How long have you been acting?
it has been 10 years. I started while I was still a firefighter,
Okay.
right?
Uh-huh.
So I was a fire cap.
Wow.
I retired as fire captain paramedic.
Uh-huh.
This nice scar here ended my career. Had
Nice.
the career-ending surgery, so
Really?
that worked out good. But I had started acting because I just needed something creative. I kind of had that creative side
Uh-huh.
that needed to be fed. And I needed something, especially in the job of firefighting. Most of our calls are medical, and so I needed a little bit of an
Little
unplug.
outlet.
I did,
Yeah.
and so that worked out. That worked out really well. It seemed to go. It kind of went really quick. I started doing Pageant of the Masters down in
You
Laguna.
did, great.
Yeah.
I've yet to see that. I've heard wonderful things.
Yeah. Oh, it's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome. But
Great.
I had met a family there,
Uh-huh.
and their kids were actors, and they kind of were saying, you know what, you have this really good average dad look. You're a pretty outgoing guy.
Uh-huh.
You ever thought about acting? And I had done some stuff in drama as
Uh-huh.
as a kid,
Right.
and it just seemed like it was the right time. I talked to my wife about it. Our daughter at the time was in high school,
Mhm.
and kind of prayed about it, and Lord just kind of opened up the door, and
Nice.
it went pretty quick. I was very fortunate. I had a friend who is an actress, and she kind of was already in SAG by that time. She was a union actress, and she started introducing me to some of the workshops and how those things work, and kind of how the industry kind of went.
Mhm.
And I got invited to one of the agent workshops and wrote my own scene.
Mhm.
Partnered up with another actress who needed a partner, and I got signed by my first agent then.
Wow.
So, but and that's at the very beginning of this, we were talking about a little bit about how the industry is changing,
Yeah.
and so I am seeing a lot more self-submit type work,
Mhm.
and it used to be like that stigma that self-submit, they none of them pay well, and you're never going to get anywhere if you don't have
Right.
this
You're not there in person,
representation
it's
and
not
da da da
legit.
da.
Uh-huh.
And it's like that has really changed a
Yeah.
lot. The internet has
Yeah.
made it much more competitive, that's for sure,
Right.
but it's made it much more accessible.
Yeah, and they can probably have more actors submit that way than the number of people they can see in person.
That's for sure.
So it does increase I don't like the word competition, but it does increase the number of people auditioning for the same role.
That is true. The number of people that you
Mhm.
see, that's for certain.
Yeah.
So, the big four, we call them, right? That's the ones you should be submitting for, all you actors or, newer actors, whatever.
Mhm.
Hey, the four that you got to be connected to if you're going to be acting, especially in any of the big markets. LA Casting, Actors Access, Backstage.
Mhm.
Okay, I did start Backstage this year.
Really?
All these years.
I
and
haven't do that one.
You know what? I'm getting.
But I have
it's
Casting
been good.
Frontier as well.
And Casting
Is that
Frontier.
your other one? Okay.
That's the
Okay.
big four. That's the big four.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's what they all have their advantages.
Yeah. And there's some overlap.
There is some overlap. You will see sometimes
Yeah.
the same project.
Yeah.
But those are the four things, the big four agencies,
Mhm.
that are on the web, that are doing most of the booking. It's certainly not saying that there aren't other legitimate, sites out there.
Mhm.
If you're doing background work, there's a whole different industry that I don't have any experience in,
Mhm.
but I certainly respect, anyone who's doing that type of work. They're long days,
Yeah.
and they work hard, and you know what? Any day on set's a good day.
That's right. Yeah.
Right.
Well, thank you so much for your
Yeah.
inspiration, your positive energy, and your ideas on what actors can do at home to not be sucked into the craze and in the money-sucking kind of situations, which I know everyone has to make a buck on their business. But there's so many facets to the actor's life that if you can save a little bit here and there, it helps a lot.
Absolutely, yeah. You know, that's just it. You know, the term working actor doesn't mean free.
No.
You know, I mean, though we may do, you know, those special projects or those, you know, if when you're first starting off, you're going to do some free work. Yeah, you're going to do some free work out there, but you know what? It's going to cost you to make it in this industry. You know, for no other thought than those four websites, the casting, you know, websites that we just talked about. Yeah. There's fees associated with those, but that's what you get out there for. Yeah. But you can also save yourself some money and have a very good quality looking project as well.
Definitely. I would have loved having someone like him tell me about this and how to make it better. So I hope that this helps you all, those actors, or just those of you who are joining in who just find it fascinating, or who know Steve and want to watch him today. Yeah. So thank you, and please share this with some people that you know would benefit from this. Thank you for being on Be My Guest. Thank you for being on Be My Guest.
Thank you for having me on.
Wonderful to have you.
I appreciated being your guest.
No, I definitely appreciate it. So thank you.
Great.
It's great to see you in person. I don't know if I've seen you since that gig.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah, kind of distance and different things going on, but I feel like I've seen you because we've kind of kept up with each other.
Yes.
So the benefit of social media.
Actor's life.
Keeping up with, yes, absolutely. All right, you have a wonderful day. Be a blessing to those around you. And thank you again, Steve Brio.
Great.
Brio, I said it right.
You said it right.
Okay. Have a wonderful day.